Hey guys, it's That's Way from ShiGig coming at you. Today I have my Genesis deck profile, my G-Stride for Fenrir. So, starting Vanguard is Fetter of Leather Leading. He's very good. His skill is Generous Break 1, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your Vanguards. Until end of turn it gets auto. Once per turn, when your card not named Fenrir, Fetter of Leather Leading is put into the drop zone from your soul, call that card to your guard. So basically, put him to soul when you're Generous Break 1. When a card is soul blasted, you can call that unit. Just can't call himself. There you go. He's very good. If you need to move around to get a booster, you can combo him with Fenrir to get some stuff. And you usually use that to keep your hand advantage. And then 4 Mythic Beast Fenrir. This card is very good. Just has one really bad downside to him. But there's other cards that fix it. His skill is Generous Break 2. Auto Soul Blast 3. When this unit attacks Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, until end of the battle, this unit gets critical, an extra critical, and your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from hand to Guardian Circle. So pretty much it's a Yggdrasil, but not as strong as Yggdrasil is in Legion. And Yggdrasil Soul Blast is 6, while the Soul Blast is 3, so it's not too bad. And then auto during your turn when your G unit strides Soul Charge 3. Remember, it's a mandatory Soul Charge, so you have to Soul Charge 3 no matter what, as long as if you stride with him, it's your heart. Choose one of your Vanguards, and until end of turn it gets auto once per turn. Count +1 when this unit. When your card is put into the drop zone from your soul, you may pay the cost. If you do, call that to rearguard. So, one thing you can do is put this into soul when you stride, and then use Fenrir skill to call Wedding, and then use Letting skill to call another unit. So this way you can get another column like here. So it helps you fix your columns, which is pretty nice. Next is 4 Minervas, my favorite Genesis card. Minerva is your backup grade 3. You don't really want to ride this. It is a decent late game if you end up wanting to use this as your finisher. It also helps if your opponent press you too much and you need to use this card. Only bad thing is she doesn't soul charge. Minerva's skill is count +1's limit break 4, auto limit break 4, count +1, soul blast 3. Choose 3 Genesis from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. You may pay the cost. If you do stand this unit, this unit gets plus 5,000 to end of turn. This really cannot use for the rest of the turn. So it's a count +1, discard 3, soul blast 3 to restand, and it gains 5k. So that's pretty good. And then so it doesn't have to hit or nothing. You can attack Rearguard or Vanguard, whichever one you want to go after, and then you can restand it, and we'll get a 5k, so you can still boost with it, say if you boost with Letting, or you boost with something else. And then if you have a card named Regalia of Wisdom Angelica, in the soul, this unit gains 2k, so it's a cross-ride, but we're not playing Angelica, so you're not going to get cross-rided. Then we are playing 4 Unappeasable Biter Gleipnir, or Gleipnir. This card is actually really good. It's a very key card in the deck. Its effect is auto. Generous Break 1, count +1 when this unit attacks Vanguard. If this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 3. Then if your card was put into the drop zone from your soul during this turn, draw a card. So basically, if you just attack with this boosted, and you didn't Soul Blast already, you'll just get the Soul Charge 3. But if you attack with it boosted and use its effect, you'll get to draw a card if you already Soul Blast the turn. So let's say he's trying to Prey Angel, or not Prey Angel, but Doombrace, Great Angel Doombrace. You activate a skill, Soul Blast 3, then you already meet the conditions to get that draw. If you activate a card effect like Fenrir when you attack and Soul Blast, you'll be able to use it. You won't get the draw until after you've met the conditions to Soul Blast of having the Soul Blast already. 4 Mythic Snake Jormungand. This card is very good. It helps you hit really good columns. The skills auto Generous Break 1. When your card is put into the drop zone from your soul, this unit gets power plus 1,000 to end of turn. So it does stack. So every time you soul blast a card, you get a draw. He gains a plus 1k. So it really helps because if you soul blast 3, he's a 12k. If you soul blast 6, he's a 15k. And it's very good. And then I am playing Witch of Ravens Chamomile. This is an old card. It got reprinted, so it should be easy for you guys to find. It got reprinted X 12, and it first was printed in I think it was BT BT11 as a rare. It's very good. Its skill is count +1 when this card is put into drop zone from your soul. If you have a Genesis Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you'd call this to regard. So basically, this is kind of similar to how you want to play Gold Paladin or something like that. The Spirit goes a lot. You don't want to really call a lot of cards from your hand. You're mostly going to use your soul as a toolbox to call units that you soul charged. So that way, you pretty much can keep your hand advantage that way, and just get the fix your regards and stuff. Because you can use Fenrir to call out anything in your deck, and you can use Lightning to call anything out except for himself. So it's very good. And then if you didn't have very many regards, you can use this to get more calls out. Or maybe you didn't have Fenrir as your heart and you had Minerva, you can use that to still get more regards to keep your advantage. I tried Hemera. I didn't like Hemera too much because I don't play enough Regalias for it to really matter too much in your soul charging. Because the only one I would play when I played it was Minerva, Hemera, Shining Angel, and then 8 triggers that were Regalia, so it didn't really help them much because I didn't really soul charge those very often. But it's still, if you guys want to play that build, it's okay. But I just like this one because it helps me keep my hand advantage, and I'm able to do some other combos and stuff. Next off, I run 4 Mythic Beast Hottie. This card is a grade 1 copy of Jormungand, which is still very good because if you use Vanguard skill, they'll both gain 6k. So that's a plus 12k to that column, which is very good. This deck specializes in hitting a lot of really high columns, and to stack the deck. So it's very good. Very fun. And also, one thing you can do is if you swing with this guy for Drainage Break 2 effect, you Soul Blast 3, this card does gain a 3k. So it'll be a 21 with Gore Maelstrom skill with 2 crit. So it's still a pretty good guard. Pretty high guard your opponent will have to give, and grade 0s. And also, you can also combo this with Minerva too. You attack with this, or maybe you had Lading on the field, put this in the soul, give Minerva the skill, and you can attack with this. Say you had another one, so you can call this again, so that way you're boosted each time you attack with Minerva. But also, if you just attack with Minerva by itself with this behind it, and then you Soul Blast and you attack this, gain 3k, so this will be swinging for 26 without any triggers. So that's very good. So this is just a really good card. I don't suggest cutting any on those because it's really, really good. Like, I've won my games a lot because of Jormungand and Hottie. Next, I run 4 Stride Fathers. You need to run them. This is a Stride deck. I have a lot of times where I've soul charged like this, grade 3s. Like, I soul charge the cards I need to stride with a lot of times, more than I soul charge the triggers for some reason. But this is very good in the deck. It really helps you because you don't want to be discarding 2 cards from your hand to stride, especially when you don't have very much hand advantage besides getting the calling cards from your soul and Gleipnir's effect draw. I run 2 Witcher Frogs Melissa again to just help you get the more cards on the field, to help you keep your advantage, especially against decks that retire like Shao Paladin, Kagero, Gear Chronicle, stuff like those. So having these is very good. 4 Perfect Cards. Again, if you guys want to try the Regalia build, you can if you want, but I enjoyed this a lot more. It was very much more consistent. It really helped me out in sticky situations more than Hemera did. Yep. So I'm running 8 crit. These are actually pretty good. If you don't have enough, if you got stuck with Minerva and you didn't have enough soul, you can put this in the soul to get 3, or to get how much you need to use your other skills. 4 Dreaming Dragon. Really, really the star player in the deck because you deck out real fast because you have a mandatory search with Fenrir. So use this to shove all your cards in your drop zone back, and then if you send 10 or more, you get a draw card, so that helps you keep your hand advantage too. Usually, I try to keep one of these in the soul when I soul charge it, so that way I can call it at any time with Fenrir or Lighting skill to make sure I thicken my deck out. So because a lot of people just try and outlast Genesis decks, and with this card, it fixes that. And of course, 4 heal. Again, just one thing is, if you get Minerva, I suggest you try and use like the crit or this starter to try and get more soul if you didn't have enough soul when you're trying to get your strides, because you really want to ride Fenrir. It really helps. Minerva is kind of like late game, or if you get really rushed and stuff. Other than that, your only other soul charge would be Gleipnir, but Gleipnir, you kind of want to get that draw off of it, so you have to try and get the soul blast. But if you don't get that, it's fine. So as for G-Zone, I run 1 Goddess of the Firmament Dione. This card's effect is auto Vanguard Soul Blast 3 when this unit attack hits. You may pay the cost. If you do, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, search for 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest into your soul. So pretty much you Soul Blast 3, get a look at top 3, add 1 card to your hand, and put the other 2 back into soul. So you get back 2 of the 3 cards you Soul Blasted, and you get the other one in your hand. So it's not bad. But the thing is, it's a non-hit effect while you have a lot better first stride. So I only use this card if I'm in like if I don't have any rear guards to call. Sometimes maybe against like Joker you'll probably use this because you don't want to really have too much rear guards in the field, or something happens. This is for if you get ride Minerva. This is Sacred Flame Ultimate Regalia Demeter. Skill is Camus 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If you have a heart card with Regalia in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, if for each of your heart cards, Soul Charge 3, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So basically you're just paying Count Blast 1 to Soul Charge 3. I don't know why, but a lot of people still don't understand what heart means. Okay, so this is your Vanguard, you stride, that becomes the heart. The cards below it are not the heart, those are the soul. It's very key you know this because I see a lot of Genesis players that don't understand the difference between heart and soul. So you don't get everything because of the soul, you only get 3 soul charges for each heart. So you only have 1 heart in this, so maximum you're probably going to only get 3 soul charge with this. Unless you want to play the Legion in the deck. I don't play the Legion because I don't really want to have the rim to space, and Norm doesn't really work with Fenrir. You can play Nyx if you want, and play the Hammer stuff instead of Minerva. That's one way you can do it, but I don't really suggest that. Minerva is just really good. She's very pretty too. Next off is 2 Doom Brace. Doom Brace is amazing. Like, this is probably always going to be your first stride unless you're in a bad situation. It's very good, very good. Its effect is act once per turn. Soul Blast 3. Choose up to 2 of your rear guards. They get plus 5,000 until end. And if the number of cards in your soul is 2 or less, Soul Charge 3. So basically, most of the time, you only have 2 soul when you first, before you stride, and then you stride over Fenrir, you Soul Charge 3, and you'll Soul Blast 3, get 5k, get some superior calls off Fenrir's skill, and then you'll Soul Charge another 3, so you get that back, so you're at 5 soul, plus you get 5k to 2 units, and if you have like Hadi and Jormungand on the field, those are some big columns, so right away you're putting pressure out, similar to how Sanctuary Guard will, but Sanctuary Guard just does it a lot better than this, pretty much. Next up, we were playing the 4 of the boss cards. Vanguard, Vanguard, I don't know how they pronounce it, Vanguard. I'm just going to call it Vanguard because that's what it is. Because they added the R to it, I think. Very good card, very stacksy trigger. With this card, I've made triple crits and a lot of triggers like happen a lot. This card is amazing. The skill is Turn Strike 2, Soul Blast 6. Choose a face down card named Mythic Destroyer Beast Fenrir from your G zone and turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do until end of turn, this unit gets auto. At the beginning of your drive step, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck. Search up to 4 cards from among them and put them on top of your deck and in your order, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck. So basically, what this means is you'll attack, Persona Flip, Soul Blast 6, and then your skill's active. So your opponent will then guard, and then once you finish guarding, if they go 2 to pass, 3 to pass, or perfect guard, you can stack your triggers by that. So you'll look at the top 4. You'll choose, like, say you got like this, 2 triggers, grade 2, grade 1, and you're like, got something like this. You're like, okay, I don't need these. If it was a perfect card, you might want to keep it, depending if you think your opponent's gonna live. If you don't, then you might go for more triggers, or if you already have a perfect card in. But usually you'll go like, okay, I'm gonna put these to the top, put these to the bottom. So next off, you can go like, you can end up having like, oh, check this out. Oh, heal expected. Heal expected. Oh, look, critical trigger. So yeah, I've won so many games by them just going no guard because they don't expect, they will guard like at no 3 damage, 4 damage or something, because if they don't have enough to put 3 to pass or perfect guarded, they'll probably no guard it, because the fact is you'll pretty much easily get 2 triggers, and you'll know right away if you're going to have problems or not. So you can easily get the trigger stacked, and it's very fun. It's very good. The only thing sucks about them is I wish that instead of putting the other 2 to the bottom, I wish it was like look at top 4, put up to 4 of them back, put the rest put up to 2 into your hand. So that would be nice. All right, so this is my Fenrir deck. It's very fun. It's decently strong, but it's not super competitive. It's very fun, and I think this is the most competitive build right now besides the Regalia build. So this will be Zetsu signing out. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more deck photos because I have several coming up. Bye.